Hey everybody, welcome to another round of Tuesday Night Legacy, presented by Spellhold Games. My name's Eugene. I will be your commentator this evening for this round 2 from March 8th. On the left we have John playing a combo Amulet Titan deck, very similar to the one in Modern, but all of the good cards that were banned out of Modern are in this deck. And then on the right, we have Eric piloting an 8-cast list, kind of a fair but very, very fast artifact deck. So let's get started. We see Eric starting out with an Ancient Tomb into our first new card, Patchwork Automaton. This is kind of like the Kappa Cannoneer, except it's a lot smaller. It still has a little ward effect, and it can get +1/+1 counters for each artifact that is cast after it is in play. So it's not when they enter the battlefield like the Kappa Cannoneer, but it can come down a couple turns earlier, and it can grow almost as fast. For John, we see an exploration into an Urza Saga. Urza Saga, of course, becoming a staple in the Legacy format. John kind of using it for the constructs, but more so for that ability to go and get his amulet from the deck so that he always has it ready to go. We see Emery Lurker of the Lock, geez, sorry about that, come in, and that's going to mill 4 cards from Eric's deck. That's going to give him some advantage. More cards to choose from if Emery gets to survive, because he can cast any of those artifacts 1 per turn out of the graveyard. We see a Retrofitter Foundry come down too. So a bunch of artifacts coming down, growing that automaton, getting some more advantage. Attacking for 3. We see John just play 2 lands and pass the turn. That Urza Saga ready to go and get him his amulet. We see Chalice of the Void come down on 0. This is going to stop things like Summoner's Pact from being able to be cast. Activating that Emery, that's going to get a Thought Monitor out of the graveyard. Basically a Thought cast, but it's also a 2/2 flyer, getting to draw 2 cards. Urza Saga for the land for turn, getting to attack for 5 with that automaton. We see the construct being made anyways, just in case things go south. For John on this next turn, just a 1/1, at least it's a blocker, can kind of chump block in front of this growing automaton. We see the Amulet of Vigor come in. So here's Thought Monitor. And then Amulet of Vigor. John also drew one, so this gives, when things come into the battlefield tapped, they untap, and these are actually triggers, so you can respond to that with the bounce lands that, when they come into play, you bounce another land back to your hand. With 2 of these untapped triggers on the stack, each land drop is actually generating 4 mana, which is going to get the Primeval Titan into play, grabbing 2 lands, which is Sunhome and Slayer Stronghold. Gave it haste and +2/+0 twice, and then gave it double strike, which meant it was a 10/6 with vigilance, haste, and double strike, and trample attacking. And Eric did not have anything to get rid of that, so damage is dealt, and we are in game 2 here. Eric's very first turn, super fast, dropping 4 zero-cast artifacts, Mishra's Bauble, 2 Urza's Baubles, and an Opal. And then we'll see a crack here, getting to draw extra mana. John going for a turn 1 Amulet of Vigor with his Urza Saga in play. I believe he revealed an Allosaurus Shepherd off of that once upon a time. Here on Eric's second turn, plays his Seed of the Synod. Just another artifact land that can grow the Kappa Cannoneer. Has more affinity for his affinity spells, Thought Cast, Thought Monitor. Gets to play the automaton and gets to play a Thought Monitor, drawing some extra cards, playing Mishra's Bauble, growing the automaton more. And he's going to crack one of those baubles to check the top of the library. It's always a interesting conundrum whether you crack your baubles or you save them for casting the Kappa Cannoneer. But if you got nothing else going on, you need to draw some cards, then you got a couple extra artifacts to back it up. Here we are on John's second turn. We see another Amulet of Vigor come down. And so this is the green-white bounce land. I don't remember its name. It's going to get 4 mana, bounce back to his hand. It's going to cast an Allosaurus Shepherd. which it in itself cannot be countered, but now green spells cannot be countered either. which is going to be a huge deal since John is playing against a blue deck, which runs counterspells. So that gets the Arboreal Grazer into play, which is just a play this guy, put a land down, which is a massive effect here for John. He actually was able to get enough mana generated that he could play his Primeval Titan and do the exact same thing that he did in the last game. The Slayer Stronghold giving it +2/+0 twice, so it is now a 10/6 with Vigilance, Trample, and Haste. And the Primeval Titan attacked, so he gets 2 more land drops. He's kind of thinking this one over, trying to see maybe not going all in on the Titan plan this time, since he knows that there's enough blockers that this is not going to be a lethal strike. And wondering if he has to kind of prepare for his next turn as well, but decides against it. Vesuva copying the Boros Garrison, which gives him just enough mana, actually 1 mana over, to give double strike to that Primeval Titan. Eric decides to throw the Thought Monitor under the bus, which is going to drop him to 2 life. So we see... Oh, I guess that was a mistrigger off of the... There was a Saga for the last turn, but that's okay. We see a Lotus Petal come down, and a Chalice of the Void trying to grow the Automaton as big as he can. It is now a 6/6, so at least it can trade with the Primeval Titan. Although this... we know that the Vesuva got bounced back to hand due to all the bounce trigger effects. And this Urza Saga is about to go off. I'm going to get a 3rd Amulet of Vigor. But with nothing else Eric can really do, he just has to pass it back. So we see the 3 mana for the 3rd trigger off of the Urza Saga. John kind of thinking about what he's going to do here. Having that effect off of the Primeval Titan, giving it double strike and trample again, I think is going to be enough here. But we are going to see a 3rd Amulet of Vigor off of the Urza Saga, which means that each of those bounce lands is going to come down and generate 6 mana before it's bounced back to hand. Or he doesn't even need to bounce that land itself, he just needs to bounce any other land. I think he might actually have... This card's going too fast, can't tell. Alright, so this is going to be 3 green and 3 blue. Oh, he's holding on priority for that 3rd bounce. He's going to cast the Once Upon a Time, which is going to show a Primeval Titan. And then he's going to... and... Yep, 3 more mana is going to get him the 2nd Primeval Titan. He's bouncing Sun home back to his hand. So this is going to be even more triggers. Although I believe he has the Slayer's Stronghold in his hand. Yeah, the Vesuva, Wasteland, and Boseiju. And that is enough pressure that Eric will say, that's enough, and that'll be the end of our game 2 and round 2. So hope to see you for round 3, and please like and subscribe to these videos if you're enjoying the content. And let me know in the comments what you think of John's Legacy Brew. Talk to you soon.